Well, hello there. It's Denise Taylor here, and I am so excited to be connected with you. Now, if this is our first time connecting, it's only appropriate for me to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me. Now, I help my clients do all sorts of things, but if I had to sum it up, I would do it this way. I would tell you I help them do three things so that they can create two meaningful results. I coach accomplished leaders on identifying, articulating, and positioning the expertise they've built over their entire career so that they can create greater impact and opportunity inside their organization and beyond. Now, I have to tell you, I have been noodling on this thought, and so I'm so anxious to just get right into it today. I want to let you in on a perspective I hold. I think most accomplished professionals are looking in the wrong place when they begin thinking about what's next for them. They look at their resume, and I will tell you, I look at their judgment, and there is a difference. You see, your resume tells me where you've worked, it tells me what titles you've held. It might even tell me what projects you've led, and it certainly would tell me what organizations you've served. And all of those things are extremely important. But your resume doesn't tell me the most valuable thing you've built. Something you've built throughout your entire career that served you well and has fueled your success. And that is your judgment. This is what your judgment looks like. It looks like your ability to walk into these uncertain moments and create clarity. It looks like your ability to recognize patterns that lead to decisions and solutions. It looks like your ability to solve difficult problems, to navigate complexity, to lead through change. And those are the assets that I pay close attention to. And the reason I pay close attention to them is because those are the assets that travel with you. You see, one of the biggest transformations I see in accomplished professionals happens when they stop defining themselves by what they've done and they begin recognizing who they've become. Your expertise isn't just information, it's packed with wisdom, discernment, perspective. It has decades of lived experience, and that's what creates value. Now, I'll be honest, for a long time, I thought my greatest asset was my resume. I had 30 plus years leading teams. It boasts of Fortune 500 companies. I led large scale transformations. I had complex initiatives that I oversaw, and all of those experiences were valuable and they mattered tremendously, especially to the organizations I served. And I'll tell you, I am proud of them all. But when I left corporate, something interesting happened. No one out in this entrepreneurial world hired me because I had worked at a particular company. I found that they hired me because of how I think, because I helped them untangle complexity, because I ask different questions, because I could see opportunities they couldn't yet see, because I helped them make better decisions. And that's when I realized that my resume opened doors throughout my career, but my judgment built my business. That was a profound shift for me. And today, if you ask me what my greatest asset is, I certainly wouldn't hand you my resume. I tell you about the thousands of conversations I've had with leaders, the decisions I've helped people navigate, the patterns I've learned to recognize, the questions I've learned to ask. Because somewhere along the way, I realized my resume tells you where I've been, but my judgment tells you how I serve. And I think many accomplished professionals underestimate themselves, not because they lack confidence, but because they've lived with their experience for so long that it feels ordinary. It's just what I do. No, it's what you've spent years becoming, and that's the difference. You see, when you begin seeing your experience differently, you begin seeing your possibilities differently. Doors open like consulting, in advisory work, in speaking, in board service, in teaching, and yes, entrepreneurship. The opportunities don't create the expertise. The expertise creates the opportunities. And that's exactly the conversation we'll be having at Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. This experience is not about what business should I start, but this experience is about what value have I spent decades building? Because once you can answer that question, everything else begins to look different. Yes, your resume tells the story of where you've been, but your judgment determines where you can go. I hope you'll spend some time thinking about that. And if you'd like to continue the conversation, I'd love to have you join us this October at Corporate to Entrepreneur Live.